Yo, what's up guys, it's Andos here, hope you're having a good day. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the top 5 ARs in Call of Duty Warzone. Disclaimer, I do play a lot of Rebirth these days, however these top assault rifles should be viable for both maps. The meta is pretty open right now when it comes to the ARs, so I will do my best to explain the pros and cons of each gun. We'll look at some stats as well to help you with your selection to find the right fit, and give you some insight on how the guns stack up against each other. Please smash that like button if you find this video enjoyable or helpful at all. Sub to the YouTube channel for more amazing Warzone content. Check me out on Twitch at AndosGaming TV. Before we begin the video, I just want to give a shout out to sim.gg. They use data mining to gather stats in Warzone, which I'm going to show you today. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check out their website. That out of the way, let's continue. First gun I would recommend is the XM4. Personally, this is my favorite assault rifle right now. The recoil is manageable and the time to kill is very solid. It's kind of an all-rounder at the moment in my opinion. Let's take this further and look at some stats. The time to kill for the XM4 with chest shots is 664 milliseconds with a range up to 30 meters. Anything after that is at 747 milliseconds. This is very competitive, guys. It'll probably make more sense when I do some comparisons with the other assault rifles, so stay tuned. But let's look into the best loadout for the XM4. For the muzzle, go with the agency suppressor. For the barrel, go with the 13.5 task force. Field agent grip for that recoil control. Ammunition, go with the 60 stagnac round. And for the scope, go with the 3x scope. So this is the XM4 build I would highly recommend. As mentioned, this is my favorite gun. I use it all the time. However, let's have a look at some other options and see how we go. Okay, the second AR I would recommend is the Automaton. This gun is very solid. The Automaton's recoil is very manageable and is probably one of the best Vanguard ARs in the game right now. The TTK is very solid at medium to long range, and you can also have fully loaded on this gun to make sure you never run out of ammo. When it comes to the best setup, this is what I would recommend. For the muzzle, go with the MX silencer just to keep you off the map and have better recoil control. For the barrel, go with the ZAC 600mm one. This one will help you hit your shots. Under barrel, go with the hand stop. For the mag, go with the biggest round, the 76 Sakura rounds. Ammunition, you want to increase your bullet velocity with lengthen. For the rear grip, go with the polymer grip. We are trying to make this gun a laser. Optic, it's really personal preference. I go with the 2.5 times. The stock, go with the Anastasia pattern to further increase recoil control. Perk number 1, go with tight grip. And perk number 2, go with fully loaded. So this is the best setup I would recommend for the Automaton. Make sure to give it a go. Alrighty, let's look at some stats to see how the Automaton holds up. So the time to kill is at 720 milliseconds, which is a bit higher than the XM4 if you're looking at the closer ranges. However, it does stay consistent to about 43 meters, which is quite good. After 43 meters, the TTK does go up to 864 milliseconds, as you can see. So if you're using the Automaton or gunfights under 43 meters, your TTK is quite competitive and it drops off from there. Still a very solid gun with good recoil control, option to have 10 attachments, so make sure to give the Automaton a try for yourself as well. The next AR I would recommend is the Cold War AK-47. This gun has a really fast time to kill. The recoil is a little bit harder to control, however I do think it is manageable. I was using this gun the other day and personally I think it's an S tier weapon. Cold War assault rifles are really dominating the meta. Make sure to give this one a go. Okay, let's have a look at the best setup for the Cold War AK-47. For the muzzle, go with the Grew suppressor. This gives recoil control and better damage range. For the barrel, go with the Spetsnaz RPK barrel. This one gives you the most damage range and bullet velocity. For the underbarrel, go with the Spetsnaz grip for recoil control. For the magazine slot, go with the Bakelite 60 round mag. Finally, for the optic, go with the Axial 3x scope. So this is the AR build I would highly recommend for the Cold War AK-47. It's an absolute beast in the right hands. Make sure to give it a try. Let's have a look at the stats to see how the AK-47 compares to the other guns. So the AK-47 has a time to kill of 600 milliseconds within 36 meters. That's pretty impressive. It edges out the XM4 and the Automaton when it comes to raw time to kill. Even at range, the AK-47 after 37 meters, the TTK is still at 700 milliseconds. This gun is very powerful. As you can see, the AK-47 has a lot of raw power. If you can control the recoil, this weapon should definitely be in your rotation. The next AR I would recommend is the Carbine. I would say the Carbine is the most user-friendly assault rifle. If you're looking for something that has no recoil, easy to control, this is your go-to gun. The Carbine kind of reminds me of the M13 back in the day. It's an absolute laser beam, and in the right hands, it can really do some damage. Let's have a look at the best setup for the Carbine. For the muzzle, go with the MX silencer, gives better recoil control and won't affect your damage range. For the barrel, go with the 22 Custom, improves your fire rate and accuracy. For the underbarrel, go with the hand stop, improves recoil control. For the mag, go with the 60 round drum. Ammunition, go with lengthen for better bullet velocity. For the rear grip, go with the polymer grip, again for better recoil control. Perk 1, go with tight grip, definitely the best perk for the Vanguard ARs. Perk 2, I would select fully loaded for extra bullets. For the stock, go with the Custom padded for better recoil control. Finally, for the optic, I would go with the 2.5 scope. This is the Carbine setup I would highly recommend. As mentioned, if you're looking for a gun with no recoil, this is the one. Let's have a look at some stats to see how the Carbine performs when it comes to time to kill. The Carbine actually has the best time to kill within a 22 meter range, which is quite surprising. So at 594 milliseconds at close range, it does edge out the other weapons. However, anything after 22 meters, the time to kill is at 858 milliseconds. Bear in mind though, when using the Carbine, your shots are going to be way more accurate and the weapon practically has no recoil. So these are the stats for the Carbine. If you're looking for something easy to use with high accuracy, make sure to give this gun a go. Let's move on to the last AR on my list, the C58. The C58 is a heavy duty AR with really high damage. The recoil is a bit harder to control, however, if you can hit your shots, the C58 hits like a truck. There's no denying this gun is catered to more high skilled players due to the recoil, but if you learn how to use this gun effectively, it really is one of the best ARs in the game. Let's have a look at the best setup for the C58. For the muzzle, go with the agency suppressor, basically the best suppressor for Cold War weapons. For the barrel, go for the 18.5 task force, gives you the best bullet velocity and damage range. Underbarrel, go with the field agent grip for recoil control. Magazine, go with the 55 Stagnac rounds. And finally, go with the actual 3x scope. This is the best setup I will recommend if you are going to use the C58. Let's have a look at the stat sheet to see how it holds up. The TTK for the C58 is at 648 milliseconds within 34 meters. This is pretty solid. It's kind of sitting in between the XM4 and the AK-47. After 35 meters, we are looking at a TTK of 756 milliseconds, which is really good. Seeing that, I think the C58 is a very solid gun with a very fast time to kill. So these are the stats when it comes to the assault rifles we have gone over today. Please keep in mind handling, accuracy, and recoil control do come into play. So make sure to experiment with different weapons and find the gun that works for you. I do hope today's video though has given you some insight on how these weapons stack up against each other. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as I will be making more weapon guides. I'm also streaming on YouTube now, so if you have any questions or just want to say hello, make sure to drop by. Like the video, share with a mate. As always, I wish you guys all the best and good luck on the Warzone.